you can't go wrong with an E minor chord on a spooky night, Halloween. And so a perfect tune for this has a bunch of E minor in it. Meg Gray from George Lee Hawkins of Kentucky. Let's give it a shot here. Oh, that's spooky. Beautiful, though. It's beautifully spooky.
Yes, it is.
Thank you, Erynn, for playing that. We'll slide in here and just work on the backup a little bit. I think you'll find this not too tricky, but it really sounds beautiful. So nothing wrong with that combination. So let's see here. You know, we're in the guitar spot. So first of all, let's just the whole chords, all the chords in this tune, really not that many, which it sounds like there's more than there's a E minor in the first part, kind of featured, and a G and an A. And the second part starts on the A and goes to a G, mostly, a couple times. But at the very end of that phrase, we're going to go G to E minor, back to A. And the form of this tune, which I think Erynn mentioned in the fiddle video, is the first part A, second part B, back to the first part, and then a C part, which goes to G major, which is really striking in a way, really makes it a cool tune. You just got to remember that, and some people may play one when they go back to A part, may do it once, but we're doing it twice. Which is I think sounds good. So you'll find some fiddlers may have different ways to do it, but that's always the way it's going to be. So just as a guitar player, we just got to be ready for whatever the fiddle player does, and that's a good thing to keep in mind. So the first part, really a lot of things you can do, and also I notice. Well, first I'm just doing the E minor and using the 6th string, and I walk to the G. So let's just do for a second before we even start the tune. Let's just do E minor, doing a practice of just 6, 5, and 4. That's the first thing I do there, just 6. And I'm strumming maybe the first 3 strings mostly, because I'm going to hit that 4th string bass in a few beats. I don't want to give it away with the strum, so I'm just using the 6, 5, 4 for my bass and the first 3 strings for my strum. Mostly. It could be just 2 strings, but just don't give away your bass notes. So 6, 5, 4. We're going to walk up to G on that open 2, 3, 6, and 5. And then I'm going to an A chord here. And you can have this open A string, you know. Sometimes I like to get that long A sometimes. So keep in mind you can have an open first string or go up to that bar 4, 3, 2 and the long A little finger. So the whole first part, you go back to E minor, do that same 6, 5, 4, walk to G, but the walk this time to A, I'm going to go a bluesy walk, 3, 4, A chord. That might be a nice place to do that long A maybe. But you could always just do the regular open A, or even not even strum the first string. It's good to think of inside strums and outside strums, you know, high string strums, or leaving that high string off just to get a little darker sound. And also getting that long A, if you had never done that, it's just your A's here kind of just smooth shows, get that sound, then that'd be kind of dead, but you little finger. And the way your hand goes, you can kind of be pulling around. Everybody's hand's a little different, experiment a little bit there. So the whole first part, I remember the melody. Let's see, what is it? Oh, yeah. So E minor, 6, 5, 4, walk to G, 6 and 5, and that A chord, 5 and 4. Same thing, E minor with all 3 basses, walk to G. This time I'm going to stay on 3, 3, 4, A. Maybe try that long A and start again. You repeat that part. 6, 5, 4, walk to G on that 6th string, 5th string and A chord, alternate the bass, E minor, 6, 5, 4, walk to G, and then the 3, 4, A. And you might even save that long A for later, but just good to be able to do that if you hadn't done it before. Good thing to work on. So then the second part's going to be A, and I've just got the basses with the long A or the open string, 5 and 4, and I walk to G, you don't have to. And again, here we go, 6, 5, 4 there. So we're kind of reversed it. To G, we're doing that 6, 5, 4, 3 basses with strums. And then we're going to have a nice A bluesy walk from back to that 5 and 4, and then the walk to G. And at the end of this part, we're going to have a nice E minor and A. And again, walking back, you can do a lot of things. You don't have to walk at all. I put a lot of walks in there. But remember, you don't have to do all the walks. I put them in there just to give you some ideas. Sometimes just leaving, not walking at all is nice, just alternate the bass, or even the same bass over and over. So keep that in mind. For spooky, it might be nice to do less walking, or you might be thinking you're walking to trick or treat. It might be spooky. You might want to put a lot of walking in there. Hit a lot of houses and get more candy. Used to be when I was a kid, we would do that, of course, and get back home and dump all the bags out, and so you got the best stuff, and then trade your worst stuff. Try to trade your worst stuff for their best stuff. That never worked out really, but kids will be kids. Trick or treat. So here's the second part. So it's and it goes. So A chord. I'm going to do. So A is 5 and 4 and 5, and then I'm doing a walk to G on that 6th string. So I'll describe it. Second part, 5 and 4, A and walk to G, and you got the 6, 5, 4, and a bluesy walk from that 5th string, 2nd fret, scoot down to A, 5 and 4, and then we walk to G, and an E minor, low bass, A. I might try the long A in here. I'm just feeling like the long A now, but I don't know if I did it in the video, but that's okay. And then we're going to do a bluesy walk back to the repeat of that second part. So I'm going to do that bluesy walk and say I'm on the second time through the second part, the B part. And then remember, after that, we're going A, B, back to the first part in this tune. So as a fiddler would do, so A, and walk to G, 6, 5, and 4, bluesy walk, 5th string down, A, right, 4, 5, walk to G, E minor's right there, and an A. And at that point on the tab I've got, and again, this tab is just suggestions. You can do this all kind of ways. And what I suggest you might do too is make a chord chart. That's always a really good thing to do. Make your own little chord chart, with 4 beats per chord. So you'd have the first measure in the first part be E minor, a slash for a measure, E minor, 2 measures, so E minor, G, a slash, and then A. That's halfway through. E minor, G, and then it goes, what does it do? Okay, E minor, G, boom, boom, and then you have A, and that's the end of it, right? So you have, okay, so let's go ahead though and go to say we're doing the E minor, the first part again, and repeating that. We know that already, so I think what I'm going to do, I'm going to go ahead and go to the C part, just let's see what happens, then we'll put it all together in our backup. So the C part, which comes after A, B, A, it's going to be a G chord, so let's get nice and happy here. G, 6 and 5 and 4, same old cascade, and we're going to walk to C for the 4th measure, and a bluesy walk. I'm going from the G 4th string down the other way. Oh, it's nice. And then I have a G, and we really want that F sharp, that kind of walk down, kind of a spooky walk. But I put a D chord in there with a thumb hook, just for fun. And you could just wait, do it like that. But I kind of put a slow walk with a D thumb hook. This is a D chord, and you get that same note you got on the 1st string, but with a thumb. So here's that. And in this tune, you just do that. Let's see. Let me just play it one time, like on the tab sheet, so you can have it. So, ba 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 da ba da ba ba. Has a nice happy melody. So 1, 2, the 3rd part, 6, 5, 4, 5, and you walk to C on the 5th string, and a bluesy walk back to 4, 5, 6, and 5 in the G. Then you have that thumb hook D, and there you're back. I just had a little cascade on those. Sometimes you can do just your strings in order back to the first part, and you're back to that, All right, you're back there. So I'm going to do the whole thing one time for you, just see if you can. Of course, you can go to the fiddle video and practice with that. It'd be better than just trying to do it with me, because I'm just doing the guitar. But here's the way my tabs falls out, and I'm doing that when I get back to A part. I'm gonna have to go. I think it's gonna be twice on that A part on the when we come back around after A B A. So if you've yeah, so that'll be good. So here we go. Meg Gray, all the parts. 1, 2, here I go. Repeat that. Here comes that G third part. Walk to the sea. And you're going to end with that first part. Repeat. Beautiful. Oh, that's pretty. So try that long A. And also remember on any bass walk, you can always double up on any of the notes you got there, so that's fun to do sometimes too. You don't want to do it all the time, but throw it in occasionally and it sounds great, as a lot of things. So Meg Gray on the guitar from George Lee Hawkins. I think it's a dandy, so enjoy that. Take care.